To be able to become a confident motherfucker, it's vital that you actually stop chasing confidence. And you actually peel back the layer of what creates confidence in the first place. Because you might see people around you, or that you grew up with, or that are popular, or that are on the internet, or whatever, and see them talk in a way, be in a way, act in a way that you think like, damn, that motherfucker's confident. How can I become that confident? But you gotta understand that there's two ways to create that. Number one is to be not born like that, but early childhood events shaped you like that before you even were conscious of who the fuck you are and what you can or cannot do, okay? So, kind of a lucky one there. The other one is simply that you see an external result or internal result, right, of someone being confident. And you peel back the layer and you re-engineer, okay, what could potentially create that, right? So if I want to be extremely confident, what creates actual confidence, right? It is a positive expectation of future events, and it is a feeling comfortable in the current circumstances, okay? Feeling safe and comfortable, that's really it. If you feel safe and comfortable, then you're at a baseline of healthy confidence, right? Which is just your full potential baseline. And then on top of that, you can start getting more witty, understanding humor more, whatever it may be, being more charismatic, understanding language, right? That type of stuff, but that is all built on top of the foundation of that already being natural, right? A natural level of confidence. So that just means no anxiety. It's like tying your shoes. It's like getting a bunch of fucking drinks from the fridge. You probably feel pretty fucking entitled to do so, right? And that's just because you're comfortable in that. And so to be able to then create that for yourself, instead of really chasing confidence, what you can rather do is, if you understand that confidence is really feeling comfortable with yourself in an environment, whatever particular thing you want to be confident in, you gotta chase discomfort. And once you chase discomfort, then the result will be comfort, funnily enough. Right? So if you start adopting the mentality of, okay, discomfort is really what I fucking want to feel and what I am chasing, then as a paradox kind of, the result will be that you are gonna get all of this confidence and all of this comfort. And the other way around is what most people do. They try to chase comfort, right, continuously. They don't speak up. They don't make a joke here. They don't talk to that person. They don't go hard in boxing sparring. They don't, whatever, right? They're always holding back in whatever avenue that is, right? Whether it's fucking fighting, whether it's business, whether it's socializing, any of those aspects of your life as a man, they're holding back. And therefore, their circle of being comfortable shrinks more and more and more, okay? And therefore, they actually end up being uncomfortable most of the fucking time. So by chasing comfort, you get more discomfort. And by chasing discomfort, you get more fucking comfort. Now, if you do it for that reason and you start chasing discomfort for a month and then you have a bigger comfort zone and now you're just gonna sit and wallow in that, then obviously it's gonna fucking turn around again. Right? So a lot of these are just a game of the mind, a perception that you have. And I can tell you personally that once you shift into chasing discomfort, everything is going to become so much fucking easier. Because if you're doing it for that reason, you're going to want to work hard. You're going to want to stay in that ice bath for that much longer. You're going to want to go to the boxing gym and spar hard with the big guys because you know that it's going to grow you and make you more comfortable, etc. Right? You're going to want to speak up to that person, go say hi to that girl, whatever, because it's going to give you those benefits of comfort. And so if you're chasing the discomfort, then also doing that thing is going to allow you to perform much higher. I'll give you an example. Perform at a much higher rate of your potential, right? And so here's what I mean. Let's say that you want to approach a person in whatever, a networking setting or making friends, or you want to approach a girl, any of these things, right? And let's say that you approach from the frame of mind of I want to avoid rejection, aka I want to avoid discomfort. Now you're going in with some type of anxiety because you're trying to avoid that, right? And you're not being your complete, full, unfiltered self, which is actually your true charisma and power, because you're trying to avoid something. Now, if you're thinking, oh, I want to literally find discomfort, I want to go through discomfort on fucking purpose, the funny thing that happens is because you are not avoiding the things that naturally make you you, and you're being unfiltered and unstifled, because of that, you're actually not going to experience as much discomfort. It's kind of like if you've ever seen these guys in karate, right? And they have this thing where they punch through a wooden plank or something like that. And so when they punch at the wooden plank, if you would want to do this, right? And you want to break through a wooden plank, the key here is to really punch through, to really come full force, okay? So you're going all the way. You're punching through the fucking thing. If you're going to punch at the thing and you're going to hold back, right, because of fear, because you don't want to hurt your hand, then you're actually going to hurt your hand. So it's going to look like this. This is going to be punching at, right? And then you're going to hurt your fucking hand because you're not going through, so the energy bounces back into your hand, and that's what causes your hand to hurt. Right? Now, if you're punching through it, then obviously the energy is going all out there because you're breaking through it, and now your hand is not going to fucking hurt. And that's an exact analogy for life. Punch through the fucking wall. And the more times you punch through that fucking wall, the thinner that wall becomes, right? It's going to get this thin, and then it's going to get this thin. And then at some point, every time that you do it, it's just going to be this. One fucking page. So there'll always be some level of a page to punch through. But that page could be a fucking however the fuck you say that in English, encyclopedia, whatever the fuck that is. Big ass fucking book with a bunch of facts in there, or a dictionary, or it could be one paper. And so that really comes down to you instilling the habit of continuously and on a continuous basis stepping into larger and bigger discomfort and punching through it once you do that, right? Another analogy really to tie this and bring this home for you is if you ever go into a boxing gym and, you know, if it's a tough gym, I'm originally from the Netherlands, right? In the Netherlands, everybody spars hard as fuck, right? So if you're in the gym and you're sparring, everybody just goes hard. And so when I first came to that gym, I was obviously brand new and stuff like that. And so my first sparring session, I go sparring and I go super light, you know. And so this guy just whacks me, this big ass old Moroccan dude just whacks me in the fucking mouth. And, you know, I see some stars. And then obviously we could start going hard. So I learned from that experience, okay, if I hold back, they're just not going to respect me and they're just going to fuck me up. Even though I was new, after that, I remember vividly, I was 2 weeks into the gym, okay? 2 weeks. And, you know, I got the ropes a bit, and then I went to this class where apparently there was a lot of the pro fighters, right? People who were legit, like they fight in glory, kickboxing and stuff like that. And so these were legit guys. And I just went as hard as I could, right? Like jab, low kick as hard as I could. And naturally, these guys also went super hard on me. But they all respected me, and actually a few of them went less hard on me, right? Now, the lesson that I took from this is the ones that went less hard on me. It's kind of like, if you hold back, you're actually going to get hurt more. But if you go full force, the other person is actually going to hold back and be the fearful one, right? And so once your mind then adopts that new mentality about fear and about discomfort, it's going to go dive into it because it learned, okay, I'm going to get rewarded more if I dive into it. I'm going to stay more safe and more comfortable if I dive into it. And that's really an analogy for life, right? A lot of life, it's like, even if you're talking about a social situation, right, and you're like out and about or in a sales meeting or whatever, and it's kind of like, you know, if you're out and about, some people shit talk and make fun of others and whatever. And if you're kind of there and someone's making jokes about you, a lot of people have a natural inclination to really become quiet and hold back and avoid that person, etc. right? Or not talk to them or whatever, not fuck with them. Be very nice to them, right? And that's a self-protection mechanism, okay? And the reason you have that is because you want to avoid being the outcast. You want to avoid being beta-ized, right? You want to avoid being made a fool, essentially. Because subconsciously, that is very dangerous for you because you could be kicked out of the tribe if you look like a fool, right? And so your mental strategy subconsciously to be able to avoid that is then become very nice to the person who apparently was doing some verbal jiu-jitsu and could fuck you up verbally, right? And so I've seen this play out in social situations all the fucking time because it is like, I'll give you an example. I was out in a club in Bali and I was talking to two girls and then some dude came in and, you know, like a good looking, tatted up guy, big dude, and he was trying to obviously pull one of the girls somewhere, whatever. And so at some point, I go to this guy, or like, you know, we're all in this little group, and I just go, all of a sudden, hey, everybody, it's Maroon 5. Guy looked like Maroon 5, right, that dude. It's Maroon 5, hey, dude, are you playing tonight? And he was trying to get them to an after party or something, right? So I'm like, oh, girls, go with him to the after party. This Maroon 5, bro. You got it, like whatever, right? And just really doing it like that, so enforcing my frame upon it. Now, look, after I did that, and a couple of other things, you know, fucking around a bit, with a laugh, right? This guy started coming up to me and be like, oh, bro, do you also want to come to that? Like being overly nice. Not in a shitty way, but like just sucking up to me. Now, look, I'm a guy who just focuses on someone's intention and the context of situations. So, bar none, if someone is just very nice to me, I'll always reciprocate that, right? If someone shows respect, I'll always do that. But this guy tried to fuck with me indirectly, and then comes up and sticks up to me and be all nice. Now, I know that's not genuine, because he's just doing that as a self-protection mechanism. You get it? So, it's different, right? And so, once again, it's that self-protection mechanism, and he's gonna be all nice and shit like that. You also see this a lot in, for example, Conor McGregor, who's obviously a great shit talker, right? And then what you always see with him when he has a new opponent, and then you know these guys are kind of going back and forth, whatever. And if he's shit talking, but then sometimes he's nice, and then when he's nice, all of a sudden the opponent becomes very nice too, right? And he's like, oh yeah, like let's please keep it nicely here. And then Conor McGregor starts shit talking again, and the guy doesn't know what to do anymore, right? So it's always for the opponent kind of a guess, like, oh, is he going to shit talk? Or is he nice? And the opponent is always at the effect mentally, right? And not at the cause. And this is a big thing. Like when you don't feel powerful like that, you're always at the effect. Like, oh, is this guy going to be nice? Is this guy going to go hard? Whatever, right? And you want to shift that to be at the cause that you are the threat, aka, right? And so, look, when I say threat, that doesn't mean a negative force, right? It just means the powerful force that other people try to take into account when they're doing something, right? And so when you shift to being the cause there, then you set the tone in every interaction, right? You decide what's cool, what's not cool. You decide what's acceptable. You decide where the group goes, etc. And you're just going to have the power, whether that's, you know, in a social situation, like I just explained, or even in a sales situation where you set the cause, right? A lot of people find themselves whenever they are in a conversation, kind of, they are talking about something and the other person kind of gives them a look of like, what? And all of a sudden they take 2 steps back. Or they take 2 steps forward, they take a step back. Right? Like, oh yeah, I fucking hate Donald Trump. Blah, blah, blah. No, I love him. Oh yeah, well, he's okay. You know what I mean? It's just not genuine. And that's just because that's a survival mechanism, right? You want to be accepted, but you want to consciously kind of go against that because it pays off more to just be yourself and just be truthful with what you truly think, okay? So look, ultimately, within this video, if you want to have more certainty, you want to be a more powerful person, you got to start seeking more discomfort. And look, the title of this video is confidence, right? And that's because a lot of people nowadays want more confidence. But this really also goes for discipline, goes for courage, goes for fucking just mental strength, right? Goes for resilience. It goes for all these qualities. Goes for work ethic, etc. It is all really about finding the discomfort. Because look, if you're not happy with your level of X right now, then the thing that you do want is always going to be associated with discomfort. So if you really want to simplify your whole self-improvement journey and whatever the fuck you're trying to do, then you can really simplify it to this. Make discomfort and fear your compass for success. Right? And obviously that's to a fucking certain degree, right? You're not just gonna jump off a damn building because that makes you feel uncomfortable, because it's pretty fucking stupid. So obviously that's within reason. Don't kill yourself, don't do that type of shit, but you wanna start triggering that fear response, triggering that discomfort response, because you decide that you wanna trigger it, not because it just happens whenever it happens, okay? Like, find shit that you can do that makes you uncomfortable, and you'll become so much more comfortable in your own skin, because your brain will associate you being in these new environments and doing these things, whatever, to you still being safe because you still survived it and you're A-O-fucking-K. Okay? So that's my message for today. Apply this to your business, to your personal life, to your social life, to your fighting life, to your martial arts, to your sports, whatever it may be, and it will be a tremendous benefit to you. Shift your focus from wanting the end result to wanting the fucking thing that creates the end result. And then don't go and loop back once you get it. Okay? That's it for today, and I will see you in the next one. And by the way, if you want to have a custom hypnosis that is going to allow you to make these shifts more quickly, go ahead and DM me on @BoydHook. Instagram will pop up on the screen. I send it over for free, or my assistant does, and then we'll get you up and running even more quickly into this confidence loop. So